So, welcome to the Mantic Universe podcast for our June Hangout. And today with Mark Zielinski.
Hey, everybody.
And Matt from Miniworx Matt.
Hello.
Oh, at least his hand.
Yeah.
Well, I'm for those watching on YouTube, you can see his hand and his hobby desk. Those listening on Spotify or everywhere else have his lovely voice on here. And he is now a special guest for our, first proper full recording hangout. The last one was in 2 parts with Chris and Mark on a separate recording for time zone issues. And today, again, from 3 different time zones, but all at once. So, I think Matt just woke up. Mark is back home from whatever he's done in the morning, and I'm close to going to bed at the moment. So, yeah, everything's
That's
fresh.
awesome.
And yeah,
All in the MUP day. So, absolutely. And yeah, for some reason, I am a talking icon on this episode because, my video was making the recording crash, dear listener. So, here we are.
For the next thing, if my voice is already dropping because we have talked about for an hour already and tried to resolve technical issues with Mark. Yeah. So I just have here another coffee, my water. Matt is painting and whatever Mark is doing behind his offline camera. Right. And first of all, we want to bring you some of the latest news from Mantic games. And
there's been a lot.
There's a lot of things happened, and I think we start with the easiest one, and this is like there is the June preview from the My Mini Factory, which should be live already when this episode goes out, and they are advancing their firefight campaign with new Orc and Enforcer models. In this time, I think it's the Scout, the heavy weapon guys, and the Mule. For those previous Vault subscribers and should have most of those models already, except for the Scout with in the June subscription of the Vault. Looks out to be still a decent pack size for my Mini Factory. I'm not following other tribes, so I can't really put this in perspective what people expect or want to have there. But I think everyone's starting it. You should have a good force already with month 2. So we just need an Enforcer vehicle in month 3 and are good to go.
Look at that orc.
Yeah.
The mule. I love it.
Oh, yeah. And it's got the Orc guns on it, too, which is super cool. So,
right.
I'm still torn on which way to go. I'm just going to stick with the vault. They say that's what you should do. So, I'm just going to stick with the vault. And if I see stuff that's in there, I'm just going to go, and then see what happens with it. So,
I mean, here's the thing. Let's look at the June Vault preview. We have some nice stuff in here as well. There's an alternative Orc Warlord compared to the My Mini Factory. There are the Enforcer Scouts and some fantasy and generic models. I think the Well of Souls for the Abyss, the Trident King, which is a lovely model. The critters are actually from their D&D line or monster role-playing RPG support line, which are available in hard plastics. So I didn't expect those to be on the vault, but it's nice to have them. I guess this is themed in for forces of natures as well, because the critters are there as a unit option. And if you buy the plastic ones, you get a mix out of the different models available. And if you have a subscription to the vault, you can pick just the 3 or 4 types you like and leave the ones you don't like out, which is an option. And the generic modern day sci-fi picnic terrain setup that was available as PVC before. So Yeah, Mark, for you, whatever you want to get. If you're playing multiple games, the Vault is the better option. If you're only interested in sci-fi, my Mini Factory is the way to go. What do you think about the Trident King being there in so early in the Vault? Because we didn't expect that one actually.
I was shocked to see it already in the vault. So
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I absolutely shocked to see it sitting there. So I was happy to see it. I don't know if I'm going to print it because, you know, I mean, you got to have it in your army. And but the Well of Souls is cool. So I've already got that one in the slicer. So I'm working on it slowly because I got to make it FDM quality. So I'm working away on that one right now. So, but what about you, Matt?
I think it's pretty awesome actually, because for all of our friends who don't have a Frank like I do, or a local shop that has the Mantic models readily available, I think it's great because they can get it now. And I really like that Mantic does that sort of stuff, because there are people out there that don't have a local store in other countries too, so
yeah, I mean that's the one thing with the Trident King, ordering in resin from Mantic from England over to the US is a thing, I guess. So yeah, having it too early in there isn't a bad thing. Might just be bad for those stores who ordered stock and now don't know if they sell it. But not everyone has a 3D printer, and physical models are still an option for a lot of people. So not, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
The Well of Souls is actually the one I don't need in general. It's not because it's a bad model, but this is one of those models I would make myself.
right.
Like it isn't a special sculpt that you need to be super talented with to get it done. So it's like you need a how to say, modeling clay, milliput, not green stuff, that is too expensive for that. Fimo, if you know that over there, or some kind of those things that air dried or go into the oven as a base, and then use like acrylic based or green stuff on top of it, with putting faces and skulls in there, and so leftover bits you have in your bits box from other frames, and get it done. So yeah, this is really something I would never print, but just make one on my own, which would also make a unique one.
And it would be really actually kind of fun to create your own. The hobby's missing that.
Right. So 3D printing, as always, I don't have a printer, so this is like talking a bit out of, how to say, from a far away point of view on that kind of thing. It's cool to see things. If I want something, I ask others to print it for me. So I'm just watching it, what could be nice, but mostly I get the physical models in general. I get the physical models anyway, because either I let them print or just buy it from Mantic. So it's...
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is the pile of shame that's digital and it doesn't take up a ton of space, except for a hard drive. I just finished filling up a terabyte of space on a external hard drive. I'm like, really? How did I do that with STL? So yeah, it's got to back down a little bit here on the STL craze, and I'll never print all of it.
Yeah. So and now we are going into times where hard drives are going to be expensive. So another terabyte will cost a fortune. So it's not a cheap pile of shame as it was before.
Yeah, and I just started, but that's just because I've had a Frank.
That's right. That's right. Big shout out to Frank and the resin production facility that he's running over there for the Miniworx gang. So outstanding job. Oh yeah, absolutely. He is a madman. He can print like crazy.
He's got 8 printers over there.
It's
8 printers, one guy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't. I have no need for anybody to print things, but it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, well, I actually kind of want to try it myself, and but all I really have to do is say, "Hey, Frank, can you print this?" Yep. Okay. Next week it's there. Okay. All
I
right.
mean, I'm going 3D print. The most interesting development at the moment is with the Bondec index system that I have seen. So for FDM printing, resin printing is taking different direction anyway, but FDM printing is now going into, how to say, multicolor printing becomes easier with this multi-nozzle systems.
Right.
Also, Bamboo Lab with the Vortex is going into a similar but different direction. And I've also seen Brucer has put out their first slicer previews for coloring things,
Mm.
and this is going to be awesome. So we are looking into a time where they are going with this like an 8 nozzle setup with 5 colors that can make all colors by mixing them. So you have those the CMY setup plus black and white, and they can
Wow.
now make all colors on larger objects because you still have those fine layer lines to intermix things. I'm looking actually forward to get my hands on one of those and try miniature pre-painted printing
Wow.
with that setup. So
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know how they do those Hero Forge models or whatever. Isn't that my son picked up one? They were, I mean, it cost him like $50 or something like that. Fortunately, he got it on a sale, but I know Brandon Rossbahn's a big fan of those. He got a bunch of his. I think it's called Hero Forge. Is it called Hero Forge? Something like that.
Yeah, Hero Forge is the ones they make, like you put it in what you want, and you pick different things, and then they print it out and send it to you. And some of them, it's more expensive if you want it pre-colored, with different filaments. So
Right.
pretty
Yeah,
sure
because
that
I think you
is
get the STL for like $8 or something like
right.
that, and then yeah, you can get it monocolor or you can get the full color print. But we were talking with the guy who oh, I can't remember the name of his print service out of Sri Lanka, but we had him on Mantic Radio. That's how long ago it was, talking about 3D printing full color
Wow.
armies. And we were talking about how close that was back then. And I mean, that was 2014 probably when we had that discussion. But it took a little while longer, but it's coming. I mean, you're going to hit print and you're going to go pick up your fully painted army from the hobby shop someday. So
That's
that
crazy.
is going to be coming. I'm sure of it.
yeah,
That's crazy. That's crazy talk. I'm
I
still
mean,
gonna
I know
paint.
there are also machines for colored resin printing, but they are currently still out of range for normal people to say, because I think they are beyond the 10K range for
Oh
the
yeah.
single machines. So the technology is there, but just not affordable for normal people. While
Bel-
FDM printing is going, I think
Believe me, Frank has been talking about that.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
Well, at one
I have
time,
seen those things and they are amazing, but it's like it's yes, not maybe for commercial, but then it's also how many models can you print out at once on that machines to make it worth doing, and this is like a low volume of sales, so just for special equipment that you can't do any other way. While the FDM ones for multicolors, and you look at the below a 2K range, and then it gets, how to say, reasonable to make things, which, especially for terrain, it could be a big changer that you
Oh
can
yeah.
print because sturdy FDM models, lightweight, pre-colored. Because one of the unique things that the Brucer slicer or the preview of the Brucer slicer put out is that you can define the on-source lighting. So
Really?
not just define the colors you want, but also the shading you want.
That's
So
crazy
with a
good.
darker bottom and things like that. So and then models are going to look awesome.
That's crazy good. Frank is all over that stuff. He was talking to me about it. He was so excited, like a little kid in a candy store. He was showing me.
Oh yeah, but I mean, printing wasn't affordable for the home for a long time. I mean, it was all industrial, but that has changed. So,
Yeah,
it's just like plasma TVs. You can remember the days when they were gigantic,
Oh
cost a
yeah,
ton of money, and I mean, it's all going to come down. Computers, it all follows along in a pattern. So
right.
you'll see color printing at home. I think that a lot of don't they do it with powders and stuff like that? They did in the old days. They
yeah.
had powders, and it's amazing. They actually had some of the black and white, but the regular resin printers, but the industrial versions at Adepticon.
Mm.
Well, last year it was in Chicago to like show people and everything else like that. I think it was a Dutch company that brought it in, and
Mm.
it was wild just seeing how fast and how awesome the 3D prints were off of that. So, but your home machine's a home machine.
Yeah,
So
I mean it also depends for resin printing a little bit how your environment looks like and if you have a dedicated room and things like that because I know
Right.
I mean for how to say what I have seen in industrial not it's not actually industrial scale but industrial machines so for professional work and you like have a 2K resin printer and the whole exhaust system to make it safe for work costs another 6K on top.
Mm.
So
Well, all right. I'm okay. I'll buy the models.
still alive.
yeah, that $50 Mantic kit's not looking expensive anymore.
No, not at all.
Right, so talking terrain, also the new Mantic terrain is should be shipping by now because the pre-orders were already out there and the terrain box it's a nice mixture of different materials. We have the cardboard buildings, the PVC trees and fences, the neoprene mat flat terrain, and the uh, plastic. So I don't know what the English word is for those.
The
Tiefsee
hills.
plastic in German. No, the hills. The Tiefsee plastic. So this vacuum made
Oh
plastic.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's oh gosh. See, I don't even know the
Back in
English
the
word.
day, we used to call it vacuform.
Yeah,
So
vacuum
yeah,
form. That's it.
that's
Vacuum
it.
form. That's it. Yeah,
So
yeah,
the vacuum formed hills, and there are already the first review videos out there. So look out for those on YouTube. And well, I have seen the comparison with other cardboard terrain, and the Mantic one is simpler but more sturdy, which should make it easier to handle if you really want to disassemble it more often and back things away. So this is like a neat full-sized table terrain setup that you can back into a box again and put it on a shelf. So you don't
I
need to
love that.
have to. So
I love
that's a
that
good thing.
because you know it's easier to move the models across the table, and you still get something visual to look at.
Mm.
That's pleasing to the eye. As far as the hills, they're flat, which is wonderful. Which I have, some 3D printed ones that work just as well. But it's good that they did this because a lot of, especially for like the tournament scene and stuff like that. Because if you see some of the tournament tables that I've seen, a lot of them are using just pieces of paper with like
Yeah.
the difficulty and the height, printed on them, like we've had for a little bit. And this here, it gives a way to put something up very quickly that you don't have to spend a lot of time hobbying with, except for maybe the fences and the trees. But I think it's wonderful because it still gives you that visual. The downside to it is you're stuck with just this.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
but and like with Halo and like with the stuff that Mantic has been doing with their terrain and Halo, it looks really good visually, and it's very sturdy. It's very tough cardboard, so it's not gonna I mean, if you get water on it, obviously it's gonna, but you get water on anything, but it just looks good, and it gives you something 3D instead of just 2D flat on the table. I personally need to work on this for our videos where I need to get some some actual terrain out there and actually, do the work. But if you're just starting out and you started playing Kings of War and you don't have a lot of experience building, painting, stuff like that, this would probably be a wonderful set to start with, and you can build off from there. That's, I like it.
I mean, I just hope we get different lineups in future and not just the human focused one. I mean, I know why they did it. I can guess why they did it, because it's like human stuff is always very generic in that sense, so that you can use it in all fantasy games. You can use it in historical games to a point, because this looks, I mean, for the small fortress or castle or what it is, which isn't really historical to that point, but still usable. And the other two are generic enough to get in any medieval setup.
Right.
Right. So this is a much larger audience to sell terrain to. When you say, yeah, you want a full gaming table, be it for any historical game, for any fantasy game, you can use that one, while doing something like specific for Twilight Kin or Ogres, you get into trouble that this is like specific. It need to fit the Mantic IP. So how their
Right.
Twilight Kin looks like, and then it's not going into historical gaming in general, and may not be useful for other fantasy games. So,
Well, the other side of it is they could do what they did with Halo and do double-sided with different
yeah,
colors or different themes or different prints, where you just swap them around. Make a winter scene. Like my opinion, if they would have made, those buildings with snow on the top on the other side, you can put them together the other way. But from the looks of the buildings, it looks a little bit too complicated to swap things around. But you can replace the roof and have some snow on it for a snow table. But I totally get that. I don't think they're done. I personally, and it's my hope.
We are looking. I mean, already mentioned it being double-sided. Those buildings are printed double-sided, so
they
they're
are.
not just on one side; they're also on the inside, which makes it neat use for skirmish games as well, because it just can remove the rooftop to put models inside. If you want to, you may need to. I think only the tower from the one fortress building is too complicated to just move it up and down, but for the other ones, it should work still. So, yeah, there's that. So we just hope Mantic is going that line and further and give us different themed buildings and terrain, or expand the model terrain to get like making a small little city. Would be nice.
Yeah,
I
they
think
started off with they just started off with the tournament standard, I mean,
Yeah.
and the idea is to get it off. It's not about theme. It's yes, it would be super cool to have a Forest of Galahir pack, and things like that. That would be very, very cool. But I can see why that wasn't the first one out of the gate.
Yeah. Right. It's also interesting because I think terrain was also the one thing missing from Vanguard for it to really took off, because when you make a more crunchy skirmish game and you don't have the terrain needed for that game, it's always a downer. Because someone really wants to go in, they need to source terrain and everything they need from different companies and boxes. And so expanding the cardboard terrain should also make a skirmish game in Panish 4 more affordable or more interesting. So let's see what they get us for the future. Right, so and now testing. Yep, worked. No, just sorry for those listening. This is the technical issues, because I try to get the news sites onto the screen for those watching on YouTube. And so Mantic also announced a new board game, or a new board game license, and they're doing Plants vs. Zombies, the board game, which nobody was expecting. And
No, I wasn't expecting it. My kids played it when they were younger, so they had some interest in it. I wouldn't say they flipped out over it, but they recognized it right out of the gate. So
yeah, so it will be a Kickstarter in fall 2026, and yeah, I think they showed previews or prototypes on the UK Games Expo, so maybe we get something back from that. But it's an interesting one because, like, yeah, doing this licensed board games, Mantic knows how to do those things. Like, Worms worked really well, and people like the game. So going with this old computer game license to turn into board games looks like this works for them very well.
Oh yeah, that's an old chestnut of the board game industry too. I mean, you're always looking for something to be a hook so that you've got kind of a built-in audience, so to speak, and then you try to make it appeal to other people. And yeah, I'm very happy that they're doing board games. So I mean, they're making a miniature board games, but in this case, it actually says board game right on it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I've always been a proponent of Mantic getting into the board game space, and they keep doing it, which I think is a good thing. So that's just going to expose them, and to more players and more people that'll see the Mantic name. So
Right, talking board games. The next small point on the news side is we got a preview for Ghost in the Shell, the RPG. It's going to be Bakerit, I think, is the site. That's more RPG focused. So a crowdfunding campaign starting in July, and the link should be live when this episode goes live as well. And the preview that we have shown is they have an additional hardcover, dust cover, I think it's called, with some nice artworks from the manga on them for early bakers. So progress in there, and we should get an interview with Alessio again. So a follow-up interview from the last preview for Ghost in the Shell, as well, launched somewhere in June or say mid-June to go live as well for more information from that game. Now, there were also some big news for Halo, which is, how is it the title? The game you love just better. So they are expanding on things. You get a 1.5 version with updates, new models, new rules, up-to-date cards. And I think I'm leaving that one out for the Halo team to talk in detail about it. It's just that this is like, I'm not too deep into the, how to say, IP. Never played the computer game. Just know things around that I can really talk this in details. So we get the UNSC Marines, so the actual humans in there now, as most people expected it anyway. We get the Banished Retaliate, some more brutes, a new gaming mat, and an all-in release bundle in future. Just something that I have heard about things is that the size of the humans or marines isn't about right in scale as it should be or people expected. And what I have heard that the size of the models was something the license giver has requested or given that to Mantic, so it's not on them to decide which scale the models actually are, but they have to be approved by others, and they demand or tell them how big or small the models need to be.
It's
So
a
there's
big
that.
Halo release.
Yeah.
Actually,
And
surprised me how big it was. I thought it was going to be just one small box, but
yeah. I mean, we knew that something is coming, or that Mantic said at one point that depending on how well the game goes, they get more or less new stuff out there. So I guess them making more stuff means the game does really well.
oh yeah. Sadly, there's more Halo players than there are Kings of War players around me, so
I mean, it's a skirmish game as well, doing the PVC models and pre-colored plastic. So it has a much easier get into factor than Kings of War.
Correct.
So,
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm also
even easier than champions. I mean, they're like
yeah.
you said, they're already pre-colored, they're ready to go. But that being said, you can paint them. So, what 2 weeks
Well,
from today, I'll be teaching a how to paint Halo class at Origins. So,
not all of them are pre-colored. I think just the first set of red and blue.
oh, is it? Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
yeah. There you go. We need James 005 or Dave here to really speak to it. So,
Yeah, I'm just doesn't. Let's see if
Well, I
they
mean, I
have.
know a little just because my group that I've converted to Kings of War or champions, I should say, are the same guys that are really into Halo. So they like champions, and they go, man, I got to paint 300 Northern Alliance guys. Is tough for me, but he's doing it. So
I mean, Kings of War has the ways around to do less or make things
correct.
easier, but it's still a lot.
Well, speed paints, it's significantly speeded up my
Mm.
Kings of War. So
I think not even speed paints. They are just. I mean,
there's some,
going from the very simple, but I think we can talk about this later in
yeah,
detail.
oh yeah,
There are methods to get a low model count and quick painting done,
absolutely.
with the downside that people are not sure if they should go that way because they might regret it later when they want more from their armies. So there's always the big so putting in the effort to be happy or just want to get quick things gaming. This is like
Right.
that's why I love 500-point games of Kings of War. So, back on the old narrative workshop when I was doing the countercharge thing, I used to put together the 500-point armies. My goal was as few models as possible. I think I was knocking out armies that were legal back in second edition back then, that, with like 9 models. So, you get it down as for and 9 models. I mean, that's smaller than a skirmish force. So it can be done. And I personally really like Kings at low points, but I know I'm the oddball, but that's also why I love champions. So.
Well, I love Kings of War too.
I mean, this is so going back to the news. We have Halo, the release already shown. We also know that something big for Warpath Universe is coming.
Yeah.
We have it on. So the Controlled Fire podcast did an interview with Clive about the roadmap and their plans for the future. So everyone who want to know more, hop over to them, because I'm not going just to retell what they said on their podcast. It's like the big drops is that we get something for all 3 games. So it's really a Warpath Universe update that includes Dead Zone, Firefight, and Epic Warpath, and not just an update for one of those games.
Hooray.
We are looking again into Nameless somewhere around mid-end of this year as a plastic release. Reps are still out there
That's going to be great.
with maybe to check out what's happening with them. So just guys listening to the dear listener, go over to the Controlled Fire podcast, to the latest episode with Clive, for a full interview to get all details on that one.
I'm excited for
And
Epic.
we are going into now for a little bit for the main topic of the month, being the Kings of War release, because there's some big stuff coming. We got the latest book, Fracture pre-order live. We got the 4 armies announced, and we got some models. There's a new Ogre Sergeant or hero
Oh, yeah.
coming. I think we already discussed this in the Champions episodes or in one of the others. And well, it's how to say, nice for those people who don't want conversions and dedicated hero models. But I never felt the need for a sergeant because it's easy to make one out of the plastic boxes.
Yes, but he's beautiful. Look at him. He's beautiful. I'm an ogre
It's
player. I love it.
and at least he's different than the warlord.
Oh yeah.
Just try to get a hero picture out there. So we are looking at now four very different and unique heroes. I have to say I didn't actually use the warlord arms for my warlord. I took the base resin models and used the plastic arms from the box to make a unique one. The boomer is also something that a lot of people replace the pistols with a gun from the plastic frames, and then there's the Berserker Brave that's got a more. So we got four distinct heroes now, and don't need to improvise for those who like it, and everyone else just convert as you did before.
Matthias, those are beautiful, aren't they? They're beautiful ogres. Those are my children. I have them all. I've converted them all. I gave him a new axe.
So I am a little bit annoyed at the moment because it's like I have the warlord from the army box.
Right.
I have looked out for the Berserker and the Boomer a long time because they were in the Vanguard boxes, and this one was really hard to get. And now I've already made my own. So buying this box again or the individual series, I'm not sure if I will do that.
Yeah, I got the old ogres guns, the big ones, and I the huge ones, the big blunderbuss ones, and I put on my boomer sergeant. He's holding those big blunderbuss ones. It's the same model. I just put the blunderbusses on them. I love the ogres.
I mean the
old
old
ogres were
BBC
cool.
ones.
I got a bunch of them.
I like the old ones as well. I have done my my hunters as a conversion with old and new ones, or old bodies with new weapons and the mix up of that. It's an interesting army to say to with a lot of potential for conversions. It's so get at pictures. No.
There's the old ogre with the no leg day.
Yeah, they're still cool though. So that was one of my first armies in first edition.
Focus. There it is. I love the heads, the faces on these guys. I take the old faces or heads and put them on the new bodies.
Yeah,
is what I do, because I love the old heads. I just don't like the new heads. So yeah.
I also like some of the old arms because they have some of those two-handed weapons are unique. So you get a nice mix with the different weapons from the old boxes. And because a lot of people don't like PVC, you really get them for cheap secondhand.
Right.
So there's a lot of Ogre players have a lot to choose from at the moment.
Oh yeah,
and things like that.
And I encourage
also, I have
everyone
to say,
to buy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there, Matt.
No problem. Oh. Because I just wanted to say I really expected to have a plastic drop with Berserkers and Hunters to come sooner than later, which didn't happen. So maybe we are looking at the Vault release or digital release for those models in future or in the near future. Let's see, because not that I'm not able to convert Berserkers from the current plastic models. I did already have a regiment. I just paused it because I said, okay, when there are new plastics coming, I'm not going to make my life harder than it need to be. But now, back to going with the original model series. Because one thing, just dear listener, for you to know, the possibility that there is, because some of the two-handed weapons from the plastic kit, you can cut them, the two-handed weapons apart, and just put axes from the one-handed weapons on top of that to improvise two-hand weapons. Doesn't look perfect, It's not the best model you will get out there, but you get at least plastic models that are cheaper than buying everything in resin. Until they come maybe as STLs, because then it things switches again. But for now there is this. So possibilities are out there. Little bit disappointed, but it is what it is.
Well, I bought Berserker Braves and Hunters from 2 different places. One from Mantic Direct and the other one from the store. And the one from Mantic Direct was resin, and the one from store was metal. Same exact models. So I had to spread them out on the bases so it would not go top heavy one way or the other.
Were the resin models bigger? Because I know the Enslaved Guardian resins are bigger than the.
They were the exact same scale. They were actually perfect, and surprised me because I was afraid of that when I felt the boxes. I'm like, wait a minute, why is this one heavier?
Something's off.
So, and I still got to do my siege breakers. So, and my chariots. I have not done those yet. I still have to get to those. I've got 2-handed weapons guys, and now the standard bearer. They call him the standard bearer. I forgot what he used to be called.
The Paymaster.
Yeah, Paymaster. I still got him to go, and I got another warlock, and you don't need him. I'm excited for the new book for ogres. Obviously, you can hear it in my voice. Yeah. So.
How to say, I'm excited as well. I'm a little bit in a tricky position because I had 2 armies on my table that I had like an option to build as my next or my first proper 4th edition army dedicated to that edition. And this was Abyss and Ogres, and now both are in the same book. Because I just paused and I wait for the first one that gets a new list. That's the army I paint. Now I guess I have to paint both.
Right. Don't you hate that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is you didn't choose. It's just, I gotta do those.
So waiting for someone else to make the decision, and it doesn't pay off. It's
right. Well, my son has Abyss, and I have Ogres. So this next book is going to be wonderful. So
yeah,
because he loves his Abyss. Speaking of, there it is.
Yeah. So Abyss also get not so much new stuff, but new stuff, and this is Tyrane, the Usurper. So
we just say the Usurper. We don't try to pronounce it.
Yeah. I can pronounce it German if you want, but then I guess the listeners will complain.
Let's do it. Yeah. What is it?
No, do it.
Usurper. In German, it's the R is like on a different place.
Ah.
That's why I have so difficult. That's a general thing with those like words taken from different languages, that in English the letters get messed around more often, and then it's like I pronounce it like I'm used to it, and then looking closer, nope, that's not how it should be, I guess.
We say usurper or usurper. That's
usurper.
It. Yeah, usurper. Now say it in Mandarin, Matthias.
No, not nah. Don't. I'm not going to risk that one. Right, so but nice. He's a special character because he's from the novels, I think. So the Sacred Art series of novels. So should be.
I was excited to see him.
Yeah.
I like how they're filling out.
Of people should know him.
Like they're filling out from the novels. I like that. They get mentioned, and I'm waiting for the War of the Stone and some of the characters from that.
Yeah. So I think we also get the Basilean models from the novels. They were not shown yet, but I think they mentioned that they should be there. So we're looking into.
Yeah, they're supposed to go to the 3D vault. So they're supposed to get printed up like some of the Zerkali heroes. So I was hoping we'd get them. But then again, Mantic's supposed to be having the print on demand. So if you really want it, you could get it that way.
Yeah.
So, or if you have a Frank local to you.
Right.
So also for the Abyss, medium disappointment, I have to say, is we expected
horse.
to have Abyssal Horseman to get
Mhm.
new models as well. Didn't happen.
Right.
Well, I can understand that Hunters and Berserkers not going plastic because they already have resin models. The Abyssal Horsemen are still the old PVC ones. So, or the old PVC horses with resin riders, I think, by now. Not, I would have hoped for something else. I mean, you can still improvise it by doing the Basileia plastic knights and use the parts from the infantry to abyssify them. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've also
Well, I
heard.
mean, they're trying to fill the ranges out, and you've already got something for that. So that makes a little bit of sense. But with that new generic horse frame, it just, I expected to see knights for the Green Lady for nature, and I expected to see those same horses pull double duty as Abyssal Horsemen. So,
I mean, I expect to get a vault release for Knights of the Green Lady or for Nature Knights to use that plastic frame and then either get an STL rider option or bits to make them nature to adopt them for nature.
I think Forces of Nature is a really good. Or, I'm sorry, Forces of the Abyss is a really good range. They got a lot of really nice plastics for them and stuff like that. The horsemen are aggravating. My son just got some, and we opened the box, and you're exactly right. The riders are now resin, and then they have the old PVC horses. So I went ahead and ordered a box of the knights from Basileia, and I'm going to let you know how that turns out. But he's going to do his very first, my son Eli, his very first conversion, for Abyssal Horsemen. So we'll see how well they fit on the new horses. I'm hoping that, because I know the new Basilean knights, the horses are a little bit thicker, and the saddle. So
Yeah.
he may have to do a little bit of modeling there, but we shall see.
That should work because the resin gets is hot water. What's the English? So you can use hot water treatment for the Mantic resin, so it doesn't
Right.
get brittle or something like that. It gets soft when you put them in hot water. So just like putting the lower half of the rider into almost boiling water, put it on the plastic horses so that it widens a little bit to really fit
Right.
nicely. Then put them into cold water to shock them down, and then it should be settled and good to go.
I mean, with the PVC, I use a space heater. I'm crazy. I used a space heater with the old PVC, and it worked. And it doesn't go back in the old shape. But I'm not going to be doing that with these guys. I'm going to be doing the hot water thing. But yes, absolutely. This will be his first time, so it'll be fun.
I mean,
I think that should work.
My conversion, because as I said, I waited for both Ogres and Abyss to see what's up there new. So my conversion for Abyssal Horseman is to use the Nagari, because I have too much of them anyway from previous ambush boxes. And just like, because they are chariot based models, so you got 3 for a regiment on the actual Nagari model, and I'm going to use 2 as on a cavalry base for my Abyssal Horseman. I'm just using different weapons, so I put the Berserker weapons on the Nagari instead of the halberd or axes or spears, whatever this should be.
That's a good idea.
To differentiate them as well. So, and then they have 2 per regiment with axes being my Abyssal Horseman, and 3 as a regiment with their spears being my Nagari. So
that's a great idea. I didn't think of that. See, Matthias, you always surprise me. Every time I listen to you and your conversions, I'm like, what a great idea this man has. But I'm usually talking to myself. So
yeah. So now finally you can we can talk about this right away.
So,
and
there you go. What about the hounds? You can do it with the hounds too.
Yeah.
You can put the horsemen on the hounds,
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I was waiting for was if we actually get not Lost Souls. What's the model's name? Tortured Souls.
Tortured Souls, yeah.
Tortured Souls. So,
My son's painting those.
I have to say, I paused my order for plastic because I was waiting to check if we get new models for them or not. The previous ones were metal. And I guess we get, because they were not announced yet, that those
They are resin.
They are resin.
Yep.
Now,
he's got resin. Yep, they got resin ones.
Yeah. And those are coming to the vault at one point.
They're confirmed
my
coming
idea
to the
for
vault?
them.
They're
Sorry.
confirmed coming to the vault?
No.
Okay, I was going to say.
But this is just a personal guess from me because they're not present showing anywhere yet for the pre-orders. And
which surprises me, they got gargoyles there, and the gargoyles in the new book are auxiliary units and everywhere. They're not even part of the army anymore, really. I mean, they are, but
I mean, that is something that we have already talked in the Champions podcast. I think that I need to check again where the box is, because they were mentioned to be plastic or hard plastic instead of. So.
Oh, we can go into champion speculation. I have some mercenaries. Yeah. Some mercenary gargoyles in the...
No, they changed it now to PVC plastic. So this was really just a typo. Yeah. The Hellhounds are resin.
Yes.
Yeah. So gargoyles, yeah. PVC plastic, this is just like they are... I mean, you get 10 in there, and just for how the models are, because with the wings and everything, you can get away with using 5 per regiment.
Right.
So you get really, so from these models you can make like a lot of auxiliary units.
Correct. Which is, something that, I've talked about and talked over with my group, is nobody really takes the auxiliary units because you're wanting to take things that, unlock other things or what have you.
Yeah.
And it's important to have chaff, but I have not seen them on the table yet.
That's something I think needs to be addressed in future, because there's like when you can take chaff that unlocks, why should you take chaff that doesn't?
Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen much except for the elves. They have wild creatures, a unit, and there are people that take that one, but they're just so cheap, points wise. But go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No problem. No, so we talked about Tortured Souls, I think. My idea for them, because they are not mentioned anywhere in the pre-orders, really. Just like here as a Mantic direct item. They are still listed as metal models here.
Well, they came resin.
Yeah.
I just recently ordered them, so.
Yeah, I think they replaced all metals models by now with resin,
right.
so they just never updated the text.
Yeah,
in
I was
here.
I was at HQ. The metal machine is pushed into the corner, and if I recall correctly, somebody told me that they sold it. So there isn't going to be any more metal. So if you got something metal, it's old.
So as Matt already said, please be careful out there when you buy something from the stores. If they have old stock, it might be metal.
Yeah, pick up the box.
Given the current metal prices, might be worth to sell the metal off.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a raw material.
Right.
It goes by the kilos.
Right. They're not made of copper, though. So,
yeah. I mean, how to say, back in the old days when metal models were much more common, we used to joke about this once when someone asked how big your army is, and you put the weight in there. So I have 2,000 points of dwarves, and they say, yeah, I have 3 kilos.
Right. I know plenty of people that still love the metals. So
Yeah. Oh, they are nice, but it's how to say, metals are preferred depending on what models there is. But
right.
there were some accidents, I would call them, not just from Mantic but from other companies as well, when the metal became too soft,
Right.
and these were just really hard work. I mean, as much as I love the design of the original metal Empire of Dust models,
Oh yeah.
they were way too soft for the spears and everything. So to really get them working, you would like replace all the spears and weapons with copper wires or proper plastics again. And this is just was
Right.
just not. It looks cool, but not cool enough.
Right. Some people just like picking up the heft of it,
Yeah.
They feel heavy metal models, and they're like, "Oh yeah, brings me back to when I was a kid." Not me. I'm more like,
I mean,
"Oh, thank God, resin will be easy to pick up and move around."
Right. It's a good. So again, somewhere lost in the track. So, dear listener, please be sorry. We are already a good while in. We promised to be shorter the last time, but today we are just letting things going. So maybe the next time.
My fault.
Yeah,
I talk a lot.
it's we try. Sorry.
Well, but we're trying to deliver some information at the same time.
Yeah.
It's been a fascinating
It's
conversation.
what I wanted to originally say is my idea for tortured souls is to use the plastic zombies and ghouls.
Oh, there you go.
Because it's like modeling flames somewhere is easy with green stuff or acrylic paste. So this is just being there.
Right.
And just being like dead humans in a fancy paint job, the ghouls and zombies work really well. So instead of like getting those 35 euros for like a regiment, I mean it's labeled as a troop, but there are enough models on there to be a regiment in there, and you just can get undead. And 50 euros for 40 zombies.
Right.
Make 2, 3, 4 regiments out of that amount of models. Get in some ghouls that are compatible, the right word, so that you can mix and match ghouls and zombies from the frames, and you have enough models to convert all the amount of tortured souls you need. And
Right.
the neat part is you can use those as base decoration for the abyss as well. Because one thing that we have seen is the Bloody Cardinal, if we can show it up, has some
torture souls.
Nice support models down there that put up the, how to say, the rocks he's standing on is lifted by small little devils coming out of the ground. So you can use the plastic zombies and ghouls to get also some similar style models on the basis of the other regiments to make those fit. So that he isn't the only one with supporting models coming out of the ground. So
that would look awesome. that would look so cool. I never thought about that. There you go again, Matthias, putting thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
Conversions. Conversions.
That was a response. Yeah.
How dare you do that?
Do it.
I have a box of zombies that I was never going to use, and I'm sitting there going, I have some zombies over here, and he's giving me a great idea.
I think most people have, because I know that those are one of the oldest kids around and one of the best looking zombies in plastic for quite a while, because we haven't seen an update from other companies in the zombie range, in the generic fantasy zombie range for a long time. And I think everyone got at least one box because they were excited about it, not knowing what to do with them. So here you know, if you have a box of zombies and don't know what to do with them because you're never playing undead, just start a biz. No, it's,
Yeah, and blame Matthias. It's all his fault.
yeah, you can always blame me. That's like if if I would at least get paid to be blamed, it would be nice. But in general, you can always blame me. Just I can live with that.
Oh, it's coming. We're our next battle report. We're gonna say this is Matthias's fault.
Yeah.
Welcome to Kings of War 4th Edition. We're playing another game, 2,300 points, and it's all Matthias's fault.
Yeah.
There you
He's
go.
the
You
guilty
got to
one.
make him a sounder, kind of like
all
you
on
know
me.
what I mean? You got to do a sounder like routed. You know, you got Matthias.
Oh, you know what? That would be awesome if I could get Matthias to say routed, and then every time somebody's routed, boom, we put Matthias up there saying routed.
Oh, we can do. We may try.
No, we're going to do that. One of my favorite photos right there, artwork for the Basileans.
That's a really, so Basilea also got new models in there, and they got really nice artworks with, I think this is also new Paladin and Sisters artwork, so this looks different to the previous models and artworks we got, so this is really
the
nice.
one thing I absolutely loved about Mantic. Sorry, Matthias, I did it again.
The new dragon, and also in the back new Elohai. So this is the one thing that was given out that people expected a little bit more from that release. Because the artworks looked nice. So we got an idea what's maybe coming in future, but just not now. And this is, well, we got a new dragon.
The best dragon I've ever seen.
Yeah. Looks awesome. I'm just a little bit worried about the wings because this might be too high for my storage case to move around. So again, maybe hot water treatment will help to get that a little bit down. But let's see what we can do. Maybe a knife is needed or something to cut the dragon wings down to get them in a transportable position. Or if we can use magnets on the wings, because this is something that we have done with the undead zombie dragon that was in the vault for those, I think, 2-year miniature. Because
you guys
the
printed
wings
that,
are.
huh? Yeah. Okay.
The wings are on their own, so you can use magnets to detach them to make it easier to transport, and maybe that's working with that dragon as well, but we have to check.
It's very similar to the old dragon, because I've painted two, one half-breed for the Abyssal Dwarves and for the Elves, and it's very similar looking. It's just done, I think, in a different way, and hopefully not in green PVC plastic. I'm hoping it's resin, and it did confirm. I saw it on the Fanatics page. There are two heads. There's one with mouth open and one mouth closed. So,
so it actually comes in parts. So maybe then the wings are in an additional parts as well, and not already fixed on the models. So it might be easy to use magnets. Oh, it would be nice. Let's see. Then we also got Gneus Salustis got a new model.
I think it's beautiful. In my mind,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the dragon in this one. The Basileans, I think they really did a good job.
Model evolved. We got an artwork in early second edition. We got a metal model in third edition, and now a resin model. So that guy is around for a long time now. And as we know, Mantic or Panitor has a progressive timeline, so a model that is still around from first edition is now very old. So that lion has seen things, and something that we have discussed, I mean, it's a fantasy world, so we don't actually know if it's a lion or an actually cat-like thing and not just looking like one. But when cats get old, they start losing their teeth, so not having lower fangs might be a sign of age in here.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I just think he's cool, and I think the 50 mil bases, going to 50 mil bases has allowed them to do more things like this. So I applaud them for moving everything to bigger bases, because getting those big lion on a small 25 would have been tough.
Yeah. So I mean, at least the heroes going to bigger bases was a very good choice for presenting, to make them really stand out on the army and not just
and for modeling purposes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
And
it from gameplay because, you know, the ogres had champions that were on the larger bases. So, you know, I mean, the concept worked. You just moved it to everybody else, and,
Right.
you know, the modeling worked out. And, you know, I mean, you basically leveled the playing field with the ogres. Sorry, Matt. And, you know, so that worked out okay. I'm very happy with the, you know, I got to put that on my Kings of War survey. That's the best thing from a 4th edition, I'll say. So I really think that was a good move.
We also got a new high paladin, which is like, because there are no plastic paladins, just the PVC ones. But the Vanguard models are already on the vault, so you can also, if you know someone with a 3D printer and get the package from that one, you can print yourself a paladin hero from there if you don't like the resin. But at least for everyone who doesn't, neither have the vault models nor a resin printer, and you can get now a resin one, which is need to check if there's a different picture. So the one pictures they have of them doesn't really look, it's a nice model from what you have. Could have been a little bit more with the larger bases, but I like it for what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Not sure if we get more options. So one thing I don't like about the Mantic page by itself is that we don't see the parts of the model. So I would really like to know before I buy something in how many parts it come or which parts are detached, so that I can know how to improvise things. So this is like, I don't know. I don't need a build instruction to know how to build things, but I want to know if I can already prepare different arms, or how to say, how much work it will be to use the arms from the plastic kit to improvise things. Because like using the base models and giving him a spear or a sword from the plastic kit is a no-brainer. For me, if the arm is detached, it's easy. Otherwise, you need to cut it off with a saw, and not using a knife on resin. I always use a saw, or I have those small hobby saws, or a thin metal saw to cut things off, because then things don't break that easily compared to a knife.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I use my clippers.
Yeah, well, I use a knife.
Clip things off and then go searching the parts somewhere in your bag.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm like, well, you know, Matthias, another good idea, buddy. Using a saw, because 90% of the time mine just go flying. So
yeah, this is like, I have to stay away from the hardware store or the Ironworks stores in general, because there's usually a lot of stuff in there. I may use that one for something very different. It's like my dream shop. There's usually like those thin metal saw blades without the handle, being perfect to cut around for miniatures and things like that. Metal washers to go under the base to make it heavier, so that you still get some weight, but easy material to work with. Everything magnets anyway, so yeah.
well,
So guys, you know, the hardware store is your best friend for the hobby. Just get there, you will find things.
Absolutely.
And
while you're there, convince the other people walking around over there. They're like, "Why are you buying that?" You know, hey, I play Kings of War, right? So another recruiting spot.
it actually is. It's like that. There's always the nice when you go in there and grabbing random stuff from the store, and people, what the hell are you going to do with that one? Oh, I'm doing miniature wargaming. That's neat little things and things. Okay.
My wife goes to the dollar store to decorate the house, and there's little miniature trees there and stuff, and I'm looking at them, and she's looking at me like I'm weird.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's great. You walk into the Christmas shops after the holidays, and you can just see the wargamers going through the
Yeah, it's the same. It's like
prefab
after
trees and
Christmas,
stuff. Yeah.
after Halloween, you see all those stuff on sale, and the wargamers go crazy. Like, yo, so much stuff.
Dead miniature trees. That's where all mine came from.
And the one last model for Basileia is we got an Elohai hero, so the Ur Elohai, and with the flaming sword, it's actually how to say, the one point I have, or my problem with that model in general, isn't the model itself, but there's too much white in the paint job. And I can see why they were going for that one, because it's like not painting it as a living human being, but as something supernatural. That's also why there are no details on the eyes, because this is like intentional to make it more supernatural and things like that. But having the clouds and the cloth in white together with the wings is a little bit too less contrast for my type of things, which is, given the artwork that was also released together with the preview, where the Elohai are drawn in a bright, shining sunlight theme, it might have been work to make him completely white with just a flaming sword if you go down that road.
Yeah, I probably would have used a yellow.
Yeah.
On well, I don't know, the flaming sword, and something, keep them with their theme, maybe a little lighter blue on the cape or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I can see that one working to make it completely white,
Right.
like a living statue, just like a stone kind of theme, and then just flaming eyes and the flaming sword
Right.
to be the option out there. So then it might look a little bit better.
It's a nice paint job, but I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
But actually, I think it's cool that we finally got a model for it, because it was always like needing to buy the PVC ones to make a hero out of it, while the other ones were metal in the past, because I think the named Elohai Samaris are already in the vault, so you can print them off. And now you got a third hero for that kind.
Are
it's
both
good
of
to
them
have
in
him.
there, or is just Julius in there, or Samacris in there too?
But I think both are in the vault already. I think, yeah, there should be both there as a model to buy. I don't know if they're already available as a standalone buy-in, but they were both in one of the packs in the past, I think.
Model wise, I think that's that model right there is probably my favorite looking one out of the bunch, next to the dragon. The paladin is pretty good, but I'm always excited to see what everyone else does with it as well. Paint job wise,
Yeah. So I think I'm a little bit, as I said, we expected plastic with Basileia,
Right.
so we still had the sisters, Elohai, and paladins not coming as plastic now. Most of them are moved as Mantic direct item because they stayed PVC, so they're still selling the old items. Not the best decision, but there might be something that we don't know that happened in there, or interrupted production or whatever. was the reason behind it. But I really expected to get plastic sisters at one point.
Right. So did Mark.
Yeah.
Right, Mark? Mark was
Absolutely.
the biggest cheerleader.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. That's like plastiderm. So they fixed that problem. So hopefully they'll fix the plastic sisters problem. So, but
They have a really big range for
yeah,
vascular, you know.
you know, but I mean, the one thing is that you've also got multiple sister type of models. You know, you've got the old spindly ones that come in a gazillion pieces, and then you've got the nice ones that are in the vault, you know, that you can pull out too. So, you know, are you going to standardize that at all? And, you know, with the size, and are you going to do something with the Panthers? And there's just so much you can do with that, you know, it would be awesome if they would. But, you know, again,
Yeah.
you only got so many resources and so much time in the day. So,
Right.
Yeah, so there are two different sculpts for sisters in the vault. So you can make about, yeah, if you're familiar with Blender, or you can do more with them. Otherwise, you just mirror them to a point. There are also the scouts in there with two different sculpts. So the sister archers, which are actually very good models. I really like them. So you might can do something with them as well with different weapons. It might be worth just printing off the bodies. So I don't know in how much work it is to get actually the models without arms. So we can use the plastic arms from the Man at Arms box to make your sister
A
first
very
combat
nice
infantry.
model. Like, I think those are really awesome looking.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the combination of the STLs and the plastics itself is, you know, you have if you have a Frank, or if you have a 3D printer, you know, you have a variety of options that you can actually build off of. And I like that they're combining the two to kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Bum up or
synergize.
synergize, or add a little bit more, you know, flavor to your army. That's what I love about Mantic is they're doing all this stuff. They're not doing some stuff, but they're doing all this other stuff to build up your armies to make them look different. You know, not all the same, and different poses and things. And plus, you know, Matthias, all your conversions, Mike, you know, people converting stuff. They're really, there's so many options now than there used to be. And I just, I love that. I love where it's going and where the hobby is heading, using the 3D print option to supplement and not to take over completely, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Definitely.
original plan. I mean, you know, just look at the first pack. You know, that was Ronnie's goal was, you know, buy my plastics and, you know, hit the vault for the bits. You know, and that was a great way for them to not have to print them and ship them and everything else. And you got your bits right away. And I still think, you know, they at one time said they're never going to put full models in there, but I mean they have in digital. I mean, just look at the Salamanders release. So things do change over time, but you know, but that's the potential. And they always said that from the very beginning that you would be able to get, you know, bits and bobs to, you know, change things. Like look at those veteran models, you know, that they had for the Salamanders too. So, you know, I mean, the vault is certainly living up to what they said it was going to do, and expanding beyond it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's replacing a few things. So the Immortal Guard for the Abyssal Dwarves, and this is just offshoot. I've got some of the old metal stuff that makes the drummer and the, you know, bannermen and stuff, and they're kind of shying away from, you know, the traditional command group in the front of the units and things like that. Well, in the vault, the Immortal Guard, the old models are smaller than the new Black Souls. So in the vault, they're giving you the Immortal Guard arms and heads that you can just add to the Black Souls, you know, and create the Immortal Guard still, except using the current models instead of the old ones, which the old ones had the little puddle base on it, you know. so they're coming up with solutions to where you can still paint Immortal Guard. It's just, you got to either go to the vault or they give you resin arm upgrades, things like that. So they're definitely transitioning and making things to where they work still. Obviously, they've gotten rid of a few things, but I'm now seeing that just with this new release with nature and things like that, they're replacing things and improving things, and they're going in the right direction. So that's it.
Yeah, good overlay to getting into the latest news and things there. So nature dropped, and well, not as anyone expected.
No.
But different. It's coming to be it's Mantic's own IP. They already said they want to focus on stuff only they themselves make and no one else is doing. So nature is a choice to see something different in here. And I think the one thing people are surprised about is that we got two furry armies in a row, like a dog army in the first book as the main lead, and now a hybrid cat army in the second one, which is an interesting one as well, because I think this is the Pharaon, the old artwork that was shown in second edition, already themed a little bit that those are not your standard Greek mythology satyrs, but something different.
Right.
And they doubled down on that, so it's much more like to be a mixture of cat and goat instead of humans and goats, or goats and beasts, or humans and beasts as people expected them to be. And the other point is, for all those who don't like dogs and complained about Sekali being a main dog thing, you now have cats to, to get you going.
And who doesn't love a cat?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on the lore where the dogs and the cats are fighting.
Yeah. So I mean, it's whoever makes these jokes. I don't know if Mantic ever intended it to be that way, but fourth edition starting off with a dog invasion, and now the cats are fighting back.
And I love the whimsicalness of it. I really do, and I love how Mantic is really stressing. You said your own IP. This is what they want Panathor to look like. This is what their stories are like, and this is what a lot of people scream about. This is what they want, and I love how they're going over to their own, like you were saying, their own aesthetic, their own IP, their own look, and I just love that. And not a lot of people are a fan, and that doesn't matter. This is what Panathor looks like. It's awesome. The artwork is awesome. What they're doing is great. And I really applaud them for sticking their neck out there and going, this is it.
Everyone doing the same anymore would be boring anyway. It's like,
right, exactly.
Mantic is going for a much more happy and colorful look compared to everyone else doing grimdark. Right. Might be that grimdark is selling better than this kind of style, but on the other side, everyone doing grimdark, it gets boring. You can do the same. This is like off topic and a personal opinion now, but going into like comparing 40k with Trench Crusade as the one things that everyone is talking now about, and when the first plastic models for Trench Crusade were shown off, I was a little bit disappointed because I expected more from it, and then they came with so World War One, grimdark Prussians. That could be as well just be a third-party 40k release because they were not that exciting. And then the two-player plastic set announced had things in there that you could say as well. Okay, someone converted Chaos Space Marines, and for Kill Team, it's samey to a point. so not really outstanding for me to be. Yeah, might be a different background, different theme, but it's just like not something that pulls me in. Like some of the original artworks and resins really looked nice, but what they have now coming up is like not that different to really drag me into making that a game for me. So on the other side, and then Mantic comes in with colorful, full color pages, happy people, if I have to say. Like there's not everyone is looking grim and sturdy and want to
Right.
murder stuff, but you have like those.
I made the comparison, and dare I say, I made the comparison to a very serious anime that you watched as a kid versus Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
and I'm into the
I'm
Saturday
all
morning
in for the Saturday morning cartoon vibe. So this is the
exactly.
thing. So although I have to say, I take the more serious topics as Saturday morning as well, because when you say the most underrated Saturday morning cartoon being Gargoyles.
Oh yeah.
So a very grim series, but not like grim dark. So they had a more adultery topics or storyline going on, which really was interesting for me when I watched it when I was younger. So this was really nice. Just to have not just an episodic story, but just an ongoing story in those Saturday morning cartoons. So this was really something special
like
for
Ninja
me.
Turtles and Ghostbusters and He-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that, you know. And I tell people that if you're into the dark animes, go play, you know, Trench Crusade and all that. But if you're into Saturday morning cartoons like the rest of us, this is your jam.
But not also some of the animes. Which was, I mean, Avatar as an anime is also more colorful
Right.
with a serious topic or an adult topic, but also like a colorful style in general.
Right. Or Inuyasha. Yeah.
Yeah, Inuyasha. And what's the other anime I recently watched?
It's not Ghost in the Shell. That was a good one.
I mean, that's a that would be an episode on its own now. So
Right.
this is like, right. No, I think I just recently watched one. I think it was on Netflix. The an anime with the in a magic world, not Earth, with ancient dragons. Or the conflict between human and elves about a magic.
I don't know.
I have to check.
If it's not on Crunchyroll, I don't know.
No, I think it was a Netflix exclusive.
Ah.
So one of my kids watched it and said, "Oh, this one is nice. We need to watch it together." And this, despite being a darker topic, it was very colorful. And when how to say, the humans in there, or the human factions with knights and everything, goes into a very similar vibe from the art style as Basileia is.
Ah, that's cool.
So, and also some of the, I just need to check, because I'm bad with names. That's the one thing.
Me too. It's Nakamuraka Marak. Arkamarka.
Yeah.
Well, hey, sadly, guys, my wife is pestering me. I do have to run. I'd love to stick around. I'm so sorry I have to go. Family stuff.
Yeah. So
I love talking to you guys. I appreciate it.
I guess this was the hour we wasted at the beginning for technical issues. So now it comes back to bite us in the back.
I'd love to come back on and keep talking. It's just today is busy. So,
but maybe depending on how long I am and Mark are now raging about through things, we might be still there when you're coming back.
Maybe if you are, I'll be there.
Yeah.
But thank you, Matthias. We will talk soon.
Yeah, thanks for having you. And
I'll be on the next one. I'll be on the next one if you invite me, if you'll have me back.
Yeah, of course. So
if Mark's still like,
thanks for coming along, and see you next month.
Mark, you there? He must be off. Tell him
Yeah,
I
I
said,
guess Mark paused and going off
What's that?
because we will have such a nice talk. So now he's back.
if,
It's,
Yeah, I'm
Mark
here.
Mateus,
I
if
just
Mark
couldn't
Mateus still likes
hit
me,
the button fast enough. So
if you guys like me still, I'll be back. So,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
if you guys want to see some battle reports on Champions or Fourth Edition, and we're gonna soon have Epic Warpath as well, just hop over to Miniworx, Miniworx Matt, Miniworx channel, and I'll give Matthias a link to throw in there if you guys
Yeah, definitely.
want to click on it. So, as I always say in every one of my videos, I will see you guys later. It's been a great pleasure, and ta-ta.
Yes, thanks. Bye.
I got to give Matt a quick shout just as he drops off. They just posted their 50th Champions Battle Report. So, and it was fantastic. I got a chance to fly out there and hang out with the guys for a day and play some Champions. So you'll see. Actually, Matt and I have we did a live stream. So if you want to check out our game of Champions on there, and yeah, just go over to his channel. We'll post the link in the show notes. But great stuff. And we started doing Champions coverage over here, but Matt does it so well. We're focusing our efforts on other stuff. So, but definitely go check out his channel. Great crew. So big shout out to everybody over there. Particularly Frank, AA, Ron, Henry, Eli, Alex, Bo. I mean, the whole group over there. So it was nice seeing everybody. I'm sure I left somebody out, and I'm sorry about that. So, but yeah, good time, and they're great guys, great club. So go over their channel and definitely check out their stuff.
Right. So this is the thing. Different channels having a different focus. So Matt is doing all those video reports. So don't we have to do them? I'm how to say glad about this
we were
one.
getting ready to do them, and it's like, no, I don't have to do that now. I don't have to do the unboxings either. So,
I mean, it's great. So, dear listener, the main problem we have with doing video content is that every one of us is on a different continent. So, getting a single camera set up to get good content out there isn't really a possibility. It wouldn't at least need to be 3 different ones. And every one of us would need to learn how to operate things and to proper record stuff. So it gets... we are just happy that someone else is doing them now. So makes life easier for us.
Yep. I've been talking to Matt, so we'll be working on some complimentary coverage. Like I said, to just supplement what he's doing. But yeah, definitely. So it's nice, and that's why we have such a wonderful community. We're not, like hard knuckle, bare knuckle competition. We're all trying to help. So and help build the community because it's they're games we love.
Right. And in the meanwhile, I have tried to find the name of the anime, and I'm just not, I don't know why, but not good enough at searching stuff. So, because I'm not sure on which channel I have actually watched it. So, I might search in the very wrong place. So, one day, listener, if you know what I'm talking about, please leave a comment and drop a name for me. So, to make things easier, and I can pick it up in the next episode. Right, going back to Herd. Right, we got new models, new plastics, new resins. We got an updated Green Lady. So I want to talk about that one first. Because I've seen the most complaint about that paint job in general, as how to say, it's not a 360 model view, so you only see the front. And it's the 3 colors. The theme that is going on, that they try to put all elements that are in nature on the models. So you have the avatar of the Green Lady that combines the nature theme with those wooden or plant ranks coming out of her arms. You have water, flame, stone, and air on there. So all 4 elements plus the forests on a single avatar. So, right. It just is the one picture that was shown off in the front, having just these 3 colors with red, blue, and green. It looks a little bit odd. But on the other hand, the model itself is really nice and beautiful, and a big step up from the previous model. That was an old metal model that I have somewhere around. It was not bad designed, but just from the size of the model and the materials, not very nice to work with or to paint. Given that I used one of the PVC chess models Mantic had available at one point, I think it was for Lorca, the chess-like board game, where they made elemental themed chess pieces for it. And I got one of those just to use an Avatar of the Green Lady replacement out of PVC. Telling something how the model or the old metal model was when I say a PVC replacement was the go-to option by the time. So I'm really happy that we got a new model, an appropriate one, and I'm not sure how I would paint it when I get it, but not, I would say, different than the one in the preview. Not sure if I would get with the elemental theme in that way to try to get all 4 elements on the model, but maybe doing something with a little bit darker theme in general. Like not a bright yellowish skin or green top, but maybe just a black and dark theme with some on-source lightning.
Yeah,
Mark.
I like the green idea. I've seen it colored online with a green skirt, and I like that better. So, and is that water or air on the one side? So,
Think that should be water.
yeah. So I think the whole back of it is the earth. So I didn't see the air as part of it. So, I mean,
let's check if we got.
Yeah.
I don't know if they updated the pictures. No, there's just a single picture of it online. So, but I've seen the back already. That's because you can see those amethyst crystals and a little gray on the back. So on the back, there's definitely earth.
Yeah, it's the whole back side of it. So, but yeah. But yeah, I like the all green better. So, some people like the vine, some people don't. I mean, so this model's taken a lot of hits online. So, but
not sure if you can see that thing on my camera. Maybe the lightning is.
No, not really. Well, is that the model?
No, that's a different one because this is what I used. I just tried to get.
Oh yeah, I have Loca. Yeah.
You can't see that on that one because this is something I have for my paint job because I painted also different colors. I made the skin white, the cloth in a dark blackish or dark blue black theme, and then have a lighter green and a lighter blue on the back to get this different elemental theme in there, but it's more of a shading than just a hard contrast or hard break in there. So I might be doing something similar here. Like just having the bright colors all just on the bottom and then get it darker up to the top. So that it's not just this hard break in elements, but a nice shading from top to bottom. In that thing. Then we have the avatar of the father, so the big Baba cat. I can see people going this one to use as for undead or other armies as their main werewolf. I think was it the Alpha Lucar? I'm not sure what the main but the single monster werewolf from the undeads and things like that. So this could work as that one as well. Kind of similar to the Xecali Berserker in their themes, so very feral, rural, barbaric ones. And so, but I like it. It gets the theme of cat people much more into there than the plastic would suggest. So, and I'm not sure if I've expected something different when I read the name first, but I like it. It's a nice model. Not sure about the paint job because I would have made it. How to say, the paint job on the preview page from Mantic is a light brown all over the model with some dark stripes, but I would have get the hair or the mane in a lighter blue and lighter shade. And right, going into the plastic. So I've just got the message from Mark. He has to drop out as well, because that's what happens when you go into the main day for people when I talking here about Lonesome at Night.
Yeah. So, but no, my honeydew list has got to be done today. So sadly, I'm going to have to run. So, Matthias, I'm going to leave things in your hands, and you can wrap that up. I'll be excited to listen to it. And but it was very nice having Matt join us. And I'm sorry I can't stick around, but we also jumped off 45 minutes late with some technical issues. So, but there you go.
When things go wrong, they go wrong. So very, very, thank you very much for being here. And well, I'm just doing a quick finish and.
Yep. So I'll catch you later. I'll be interested to see how it goes. But that's the concept of the hangout that we have here. People are going to drop in and drop out, and who knows if Dave's going to drop in or not. So
yeah, maybe. But see. Depending on how he is and how things are going, it's
we'll see how
Thank
it
you
goes.
Very much, and
all right, Matthias. We'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye. So, dear listener, I am back alone, basically, and I hope you don't mind this. Me raging alone without discussion with Mark or Matt or Dave going through the final topic. I try to keep everything down to below 2 hours and just go through the latest or the last bits of the news we wanted to cover. And right, it's Herd being the main theme now for the nature release. The elementals, as we expected, are not getting new stuff for now because they were already released as STL and resin for the most parts. The most controversial models I have seen online was the Beast of Nature, which is an interesting theme as they try to combine a tree man or a tree herder, forest shambler with an air elemental as the go-to one, which comes in an option with 4 arms or 2 arms and wings for the fly option. And at least in my bubble for the hobby, I've seen that those people who like the Beast of Nature don't like the infantry models, and those who don't like the infantry don't like the Beast of Natures, and of course there are those who like neither. So different taste for different people. I have to say, I'm not that keen on the Beast of Nature in general, but I have made my own ones in the past, like sculpting them from whatever I had around with, or tried to do things differently. I think I've made my very first Beast of Nature was done with was it paper, toilet paper, something like this. So toilet paper, white glue to mesh something together that looks unearthly, supernatural, that could fly, or not being really linked or identified to a single identity to go with the different options. So yeah, everyone who cannot model things on their own or don't know how to improvise or really want to buy something that is there, it's now available. And as it's still a beast of nature, everyone else just go crazy, go use what you like, what you want, use a monster from a different army, anything with wings, or you can even go with little dragons and things like that, because it's still just a generic thing that can be adopted, I guess. So there will be options to make it your own in the list, like in the past, because wings are an option for the models, so there will be something to do with it, and go with it. Then an interesting one is the Guardian Brutes, which we got now 2 Minotaur models, and combined with the plastic frame for the new infantry, which is a choice. I have to say, didn't expect that one to come, because we really all wanted to have our big Minotaur regiments with big chunky monsters, and in this case we got just 2 of them with one infantry-sized resin model, as this being the, how to say, the rider that is on one, standing on one of the Guardians is going to be resin, and then you get an additional 10 models or a 10 model infantry frame. Option is there, it's sold as a troop, but because there are 10 small models and with base decoration, it shouldn't be a big problem to use that one as a regiment, because having the big models on it, you can't really, how to say, take it as something else already. So going with a big base, a regiment-sized base, put the models on there, make them full, use base decorations, and you're good to go to use that 13 models as a regiment. And the one box I will definitely get is, being a champion host, it's the champion box, because I really like the vibes our new champion gets off. Like, this is a tactical rock used well, like having it sitting relaxed in the middle of the battlefield, deciding his next move. So I really like the style and the vibes from those model on. And as well in a champion's box is the single centaur sprue. So you get those 4 cavalry models and the 20 infantry models. So it's a nice intro, so people who are not sure about the models might want to look into them, or like the theme of herd but don't want to get the full army. It's a nice grab, so you don't need to double down on going with a full herd release for Kings of War. If you are not sure on that one, and just get the champions box, then you can play champions, be happy with the army. And if you don't like him, not much done wrong. And if you just want to get the box for the hero, because that one is really cool, still worth to going it. And right, also we got new Gladewalker Druid. I have the original metal model somewhere on my desk here. Used it before for my Herd Derby. It's nice to get that the resin one, or the new one, is a little bit different in a much more dynamic pose, so it's still worth getting if you already have the old one. Tribal Chieftain, like a resin hero, or the resin heroes for the herd. Nothing you can't make out of the plastic frame if you want to. So not sure if you really need them. If you don't want to convert models, just buy them as they are, have a unique sculpt. Definitely worth to get them or go for them, and otherwise just improvise them out of the plastic frame. An important part here is the Centaur regiment comes with 2 weapon options, the bows and the 200 meal weapons. To convert them, the tribal warrior regiments for the Pharaoh comes with 3 weapon options. They have slings, spears, and hand weapons. So might also be a nice mix together. What I'm interested in here is how well the heads and arm goes together with the centaurs, because my biggest negative point with the cavalry is that I don't like the hair that comes on, because they have all a mane and a large hair piece that's on the back, so to make them look more dynamic with them having it flowing in the wind. But I don't really like that style in general. So it's either it's do something that is to be cut off and remodeled with green stuff, at least for me, or just simply replaced with the infantry heads. So those should fit nicely together. But would also go to use the cavalry heads if they, because of the long hair, be different, to combine this with the infantry models and make the heroes standing out a little bit more, to combine that one and this. Could be options. So I'm seeing a lot of possibilities at the moment. I just, yeah, as Metaphor said, when I go into talking models, it's much more about possibilities and less of what not to do in here. The herd models have also been seen to be the most controversial online. And yeah, I'm not sure. I definitely expected something different. They are not satyrs, they are not Greek mythology, they are not pharaoh, they are faun, they are pharaoh, they are not beastmen, they are not human goat hybrids, they are not goat and utterly beast hybrids. They are really just going into this cat theme, or cat-like theme, which is very well suited with the actual lore and background. And we have tried to get some online reactions out of different bubbles, because I know Facebook is not something I maintain and watch in general. I just don't have the energy to go through the new postings on the Fanatics group. So I'm on other sites, other communities, and trying to get something out of that. It's, yeah, nature models are controversial, but there are people who say, or a minority, saying they are worse than the previous ones. A majority thinks that they are better than what we got in the past, and another minority is going to love them. So it's hit or miss with Mantic, but it's definitely an update. We finally got proper centaurs, getting with the old metal ones. This is also one of the models kits I talked earlier about, where the white metal they used is way too soft to be useful in gaming, and mine are still somewhere hidden on the shelf in the original VHS plastic box they came very early on, when Mantic still did those kind of things. And I never really built them. They're nice. They were a nice design, but not really nice models to use for gaming purpose. And I think we have they look more happy. We have talked about it. I've already mentioned that one. Still no picture of the frame. This is what I was looking forward to, so I'm getting the Champions box, and I will try to get a review done. Maybe in video, maybe Mark will do it. Maybe get something from Matt. But I'm looking forward to actually see the plastic frame and the possibilities that are on there. And I have to say that the more I look to them, the more I like them, because the first shock was not being what I expected. And then it comes down to they're not actually bad for the theme they are. They're not what maybe a lot of people wanted, but for me, they are nice and different. And I like to have different options out there, because when everyone is doing the same and everyone making Beastmen from the main company out there and just trying to get as close as possible without copying them, it gets boring, because everyone is really just doing the same in here. And right, so we are almost hitting 2 hours, and I could go talk a lot alone about just what I think of doing is. So, right, if you like this episode, please let us know. If you like the style of that episode, please let us know. If you don't like it, definitely let us know. And write on a comment on the episode on Spotify and YouTube. And if we should keep it that way, what we should change in future, if we should make dedicated news episodes and have the Hangout as its own thing of us just doing dedicated random chatting instead of talking about news. And in any case, join our Discord server, leave comments, let us know what you like and don't like. Let us definitely know what you think about the new herd models, what you rate for the book, because I think Kings of War now getting the second book will be a big step forward. A lot of people would, or some people, not a lot, for about 40% of the people I have talked to and seen to haven't actually picked up fourth. By now, most have just, because it's a slow hobby for a lot, it's still rank and file gaming, so people are building, painting, getting used to things, so they just start picking up the hobby, picking up 4th edition, and some really waited for Fracture to see what's going on, how the armies progress, especially because the first campaign book armies weren't in the core book, so people didn't know what changes are to be expected when armies get their own book, how much for the models change, how much they update, how much for the commands. So those were really waiting just to see Fracture, what happens. With Kings of War, as things go along, we will also get a small balance update as by the Mantic blog with Fracture for all armies. So we'll see how this one works out. And yeah, then we will see how Kings of War progressive. I'm looking forward to Fracture. 2 armies I have on my painting table are in there, so I'm looking forward to finally paint, build, and bring them up there. I'm already planning to go Clash of Kings UK this year as well, so first arrangements are being made, and not sure if I now take my Ogres or Abyss to that event. Most likely the Abyss, because I've already started painting some of those models. And maybe everyone who is going to Clash of Kings UK, drop by, say hello, say what you think about the show and what we should change. Or if someone just want to challenge me for a game, let me know as well. I still need to check for arrangements and things like that. But we should meet. And if anyone is there earlier, like on the first day, I want to hang out on the Saturday evening, that's definitely up for getting a drink and have a nice chat there as well. So, that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode and me talking alone the last 15 minutes. And as already said, leave a comment on Spotify, on YouTube, join our Discord, and wherever you're listening, I wish you a good morning, day, or night, and goodbye.